Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I've got a really cool and unique one for you because we've got a new keyboard maker entering the game, and this time with a magnetic switch. This is something really unique and interesting and I cannot wait to check it out together with you. So I'd say let's just get right into the video. And here we have it. Welcome back to the desk. I would say let's dig right into this box. Here we have it, DrunkDeer. I really think this is a cool name. It gives me some Jägermeister vibes, not too sure what you think about that. But this is the M75 series keyboard, which is their new magnetic switch keyboard. And this is what I'm super curious about because this is supposed to be much more responsive and more personalizable. You know mechanical keyboards, but this one is a magnetic switch keyboard. And this is really interesting because DrunkDeer claims that this has much lower latency than regular keyboards. And this is especially important for you gamers because you will want that extra millisecond more of response time and less latency, especially when it comes to crucial moments in games. So this will be quite interesting to check out. It's by a new company I haven't heard before, with their goal being to making affordable and high quality keyboard products. So definitely be sure to check out that link in the description below, which is the link to DrunkDeer, where you can check them out and maybe support them because I think their mission is really cool, making high quality keyboards really accessible and at an affordable price point. Without further ado, let's get into this box. So here we have the front of the box, DrunkDeer expert in non-mechanical switch keyboard. So it's Mac and Windows, and on the back, a little bit of a story of DrunkDeer. It's founded by keyboard enthusiasts and they invite you to discover the greater diversity of mechanical keyboards. The time is now, and the box doesn't say any better because the time is now to get into it. And already looking very nicely packaged. Before we get into the main attraction, let's look at what accessories get. Nice pouch, gotta love a nice pouch. And in here we find a keycap puller, which is very nice of them to include in case you do not have one already. What this lets you do is easily pull out the keycaps so you can personalize and customize your keyboard even further. I've got plenty of videos about that on my channel, so make sure you check those out too if you're interested in keycaps. And, oh, now this is interesting. Okay, so it seems like we got a normal USB-C to A cable, but it in fact comes with something quite unique. A USB-A to C adapter. So again, this is a really cool innovation, I think, from DrunkDeer, giving us a USB Type-C cable on both ends, but also including a USB Type-A adapter. So if you have a MacBook, for example, which is also the idea of the box, or a new iMac that only has USB-C, easily just take that off and your keyboard is ready to go. Really cool, love to see it. We also have another little pouch, and this looks like some additional keycaps. These look like the Windows keyboards keycaps, so we've got Alt, and Win. So my assumption is here we will get a Mac layout, so we can customize that. Got the puller for that. Now, the reveal. Let's take a look what's inside. Ooh, okay, so we got some colors going on in here. That is looking quite nice if I do say so myself. So we've got some pretty cool colors already going on in here. Already liking that a lot. See, a nice looking knob. Love that, attention to detail. Let's carefully lift this out. And it seems like, included in the box, again, I like this innovation. DrunkDeer, you're doing a great job here providing us keyboard people with a lot of accessories. It comes included with a very nice protective cover that you can reuse as a dust protector. That would be it for the unboxing. Laying it down on the desk. Oh my god. Okay, this is looking extremely sleek. It's a plastic build quality, but first impression feels actually quite sturdy. Quite nice. Ooh, the knob is satisfying. It's just got that bit of resistance, not too much. Oh, and we've got the magnetic switches. Okay, before we get too deep into that, let's get this keyboard plugged in and see how it looks. So included is a really nice braided cable. I like it, it's matching the keyboard, and I think especially if you have a darker desk pad, similar to the one I've got going on here. All right, so plugging it in, it has a really gorgeous looking RGB effect. Do not know how well that comes across on camera. That is actually really satisfying. It's got like this rainbow wave going on. I love that effect. It doesn't come with instructions, which it might be because this is a pre-release product, but I do wonder if I can change the RGB effects. So what I can see right off the bat is we have arrow keys, which is super nice to see on a compact layout. We've got our wheel, which if I spin this, will it change the volume in Windows? Yes, it does change the Windows volume. That is really cool to see. So we've got a volume wheel here, which is really cool. Actually, it's very ergonomic, so I can imagine yourself gaming here. You got your keyboard, you got your mouse, you're in game, you just want to adjust the volume a tad. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience. What else have we got? We've got the Mac keycaps installed, so I would say let's get those guys switched out. Let's take a closer look at the magnetic switches. So as it already says on the box, these are not mechanical switches, but they are magnetic. And I'm not entirely sure how the switch works, but what I can tell you is there is some sort of magnet mechanism in here that acts as a switch. So instead of like a mechanical switch where two contacts go in contact to each other, these are magnets which are contacting each other. And I assume that allows DrunkDeer to achieve a much quicker response time. So let's get this keycap installed here. And if you're wondering what type of keycaps these are your standard Cherry style keycaps. So you can use any Cherry compatible keycaps with this keyboard. Taking a look further around the keyboard, front we have a pretty cool 75% layout keyboard. It's plastic build with some relatively thicker bezels around the corner, but I think this is a very nice design choice. This model is the white one, which I think really nicely contrasts the Random Frank P mousepad that I've got here. On the desk, it looks really, really sleek. The profile is also quite nice. It's already quite raised, which is nice for typing, but also for ergonomics. But if you want a little bit more of an incline, on the back we've got some adjustable feet, so we can just pop these guys out like so. And we already have a higher typing position. I actually do quite prefer the level one, and I really do like the kind of like chunky aesthetic that it's got going for it. It's got this really nice big knob. I really like that. I haven't really... Oh, you can press it. I haven't really tried out many keyboards with a knob before, and this can play and pause your music in your window. So if you're playing music on Spotify, it can play and pause your media, and you can lower and higher the volume using the wheel. So this is really nice, multifunctional. There's also some function keys on the front. I think these are more Mac related. So on Windows, you might not get all these options. Let's give it a try with some FN, volume down, volume up. No, so these are mostly Mac related shortcuts that you've got on the included keycaps, but I think that is fine because I think if you get one of these keyboards, you'll be very into customizing and changing out keycaps on it. Let's give these switches a try with a short typing test. And what's really cool, they're supposed to be pre-lubed, so we will hear the sound of that. Alright, that was a test with the lav mic placed right in front of it. Let's just give it one more test of me typing above. So that would be a test of the lav mic placed where I usually have it, which is right here at my chest, and doing a quick typing test. And if you're liking this video, please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more vids like this. What can I tell you from the first initial impressions? I think this keyboard, it has just about the right amount of everything, which is also kind of the claim on the website. And I do actually quite agree with it. I really like the compact layout. It still has arrow keys, which is especially nice if you do some programming, some coding, and you want to jump along loads of code, lines of code. It has page up, page down, home and end keys. So again, very enthusiast focused, especially if you're doing a lot of text editing, coding. Again, great to have these. I really like the layout. I mean, there's very little to complain about at this price point of the keyboard. And I think comparing it to one of the more premium brands that we've got around, more mainstream brands, you are definitely getting a lot of value and enthusiast grade specs in this keyboard. I mean, the fact that they put the foam in, they have the stabilizing frame, and all this really well thought out design in this case just really goes to show how they are focused and taking a lot of inspiration and adding features that enthusiasts want. And this budget price point, I think, is a great starting point for building yourself a custom mechanical keyboard. You've got a great looking case. Only real downside I can tell is that it's made out of plastic. However, I do think the build quality feels really nice. It does not feel built cheaply. Like, it being plastic, it is a nice quality plastic. If I'm not wrong, it is ABS plastic. One of the more unique features about this is the magnetic switch, and what this allows you to do is change the actuation distance. So that could make it more responsive or less responsive depending on what you're doing. So you can toggle between different modes using the FN2 key and some different presets. So let's do FN and 1. And that should give us some extremely fast response times. So let's see how this feels. Oh my god, okay. That is actually... No, that is insane. This is extremely responsive. So I just pressed FN1 and it became mega responsive. Like, I barely have to touch the keycap for it to register a press. So if I press FN2 and 9, for example, that should be the least responsive. So that would give us the largest actuation distance. So, no way. I am genuinely blown away by this. Now it is a much more stiff and deeper key press required. FN2 and 5, it's somewhat in bit. No, I actually cannot believe how cool this is. So this is like having 10 different sets of keycap. This is like having 10 different sets of switches in one keyboard. FN1. There we are. I barely have to touch it for it to register. If you're playing like really intense games and you need a really fast response rate, I can imagine this being perfect, because you can go from having something that is, what do they say the response rate is? Actuation distance of 0.4 millimeters, which is setting 1, to let's do FN and 4, or let's do 3, which is one of the other gaming options, which is 1.2. You have an extremely responsive keyboard, and at the same time you can change back to a less responsive keyboard, which is nice for more tactile and everyday typing. No, this is actually insane. Okay, this is amazing. I am blown away by this. I don't really know what else to tell you about it. I mean, definitely do check this keyboard for yourself out. It's just so unique. I'm really mind blown right now. Like, this is extremely cool. Check out the link in the description below. I think this is something you've really got to try for yourself. If this keyboard looks interesting in any way, make sure that you check out DrunkDeer. Link is in the description below. I'd like to say also a thank you to them for sending this keyboard out to me and giving me the opportunity to try it for you. And I think that pretty much concludes the video. If you like this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up below, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions about this keyboard, feel free to ask them down in the description below. I'll try to cover and answer them as soon as possible. So yeah, whenever there's a question, just feel free to write a comment and I'll be right there. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time.